Hello guys, and today I've decided to try and contact Putin over all this Ukraine nonsense. Now, my response will be something that people in here aren't going to like, Putin probably won't understand or like, and nobody will probably like, but there you go. But actually trying to film this, me actually sending something very simple like an email, itself caused a lot of problems. Firstly, I did actually originally film myself after I'd typed it all in and then trying to hit the send button, and it wouldn't allow it because my name had English letters and not Russian letters. Then I had to find out a way to get around that, and then I tried to bring up Firefox and I tried to go back on the browser, and then it lost a lot, but I did actually save a backup because I copied and pasted the text that I typed into the text box into Notepad. When I tried to paste it back in, it wouldn't let me. I had to bring up Firefox. It wouldn't let me do that either. I did originally read the text out as I actually, once I had it, after I typed it in originally, and then I tried to record what I'd just saved with me talking. It lost all of that. Because I saved it in the wrong way, and so I lost all of that. But then I did actually record something where it showed me with something already in on the text. I managed to get it up into bring up Firefox. There's a special add-on in Firefox which allows you to force the right mouse button to work within Firefox. So in other words, if there's any tricks in Firefox where they've disabled the right mouse button, it forces it to allow it. So that was what I did. That's what I actually had to do, because you could not paste text into this text box when you're trying to contact Putin and his office. Apparently you have to just sit there and type, but using some state-of-the-art add-on which I added ages ago and forgotten about. I thought I put the add-on in to Chrome, but actually put into Firefox. Okay, it allows you to disable their anti-hacking system or whatever, and so it forces it to allow you to paste text into a box when they'd actually disabled you from doing it. So that's what I did. Otherwise I'd have had to type the whole of that again. But you do see it in there. You do actually see the text, although I scrolled down very fast. But you could, if you watched it very slowly, check that it was what I said it is. And so in a moment I'm going to read the text out again, and then I will show the video that I did, which was meant to carry on from a previous video which I lost. Okay, but it does show me actually responding directly and writing to Putin's official office on the official Kremlin website, to the best of my knowledge. Okay, and so there you go, guys. Okay, me directly trying to save the world and respond to Putin, but I guarantee nobody's going to like the response at all, probably. But we'll see what happens. Okay, so that's my attempt for peace. Okay, although it won't look like it when you read what I wrote. Okay, so thanks for watching. The next clip you'll see will be me reading aloud just the text alone of what I sent. And then you'll see that text in a text box on the official Kremlin website, and me actually clicking the send button and actually sending the message. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye for me now, but don't stop watching. Okay, as I said, originally when I did the video, I originally showed this being in the text box and reading it aloud. That video part of it has been lost, so I'm now going to read it from a text file which I created and saved. Okay, after I did this, it was copied again, pasted, and then sent, which you will see later. Okay, so I'm just going to read it aloud. This is what was, as I said, what I sent intended for Putin. Okay, reference: NATO expansion and the current problems regarding Russia and Ukraine. I have thought of something that no one else has dared raise. As a nobody living in England, I am not afraid to suggest the unthinkable from your perspective at this time. Russia wants a guarantee that Ukraine will never join NATO, but what if in future Russia itself joined NATO? That might not seem likely now, and will most likely not happen while Mr. Putin's the president of Russia. However, Mr. Putin will not be the president of Russia forever. One day Mr. Putin will either retire, die, or be removed from office, which could happen, for example, in an election. A new leader might decide it would be a good idea for Russia to join NATO, and in future NATO might even allow Russia to do just that. That might seem unthinkable now, but in the 1940s the idea that Germany would be in a pact, NATO, with its former bitter enemies would have seemed unlikely. It would have been seen as unlikely that a future German leader, such as Miss Merkel, would apologise for Germany's behaviour during World War II, and be best of friends with its former enemies and in an economic pact with them, the EU, and also a military alliance with them, NATO. Were Russia to join NATO in the future, it would seem bizarre that Ukraine would be banned from joining NATO because once upon a time a promise had been made that Ukraine could not join NATO ever, even in 1,000 years' time, for example. During World War II, I do not think anyone on the Allies' side would have wanted countries friendly with Germany to be in a pact with Germany, not realising one day they could switch sides. To many of us who grew up during the 1980s, the idea that former communist countries, which were part of the Warsaw Pact, would switch sides and join NATO would have been seen as astonishing. The future is unknown. It is not reasonable to force other countries to promise Ukraine will not join NATO ever when Russia cannot promise that Russia itself will never join NATO ever. On a more personal level, something Mr. Putin might understand. When he was growing up as a child, to my knowledge, he was banned from seeing the Beatles live in concert. To my knowledge, but I could be wrong, the Beatles were banned under the Soviet Union from performing in Russia. Imagine the surprise the world had when Mr. Putin revealed he was a Beatles fan, begged Paul McCartney to perform live in Moscow, and for Paul to actually perform live at a concert in Moscow with Mr. Putin personally in the audience. Such a thing would have been unthinkable when Mr. Putin was growing up. Societies change, leaders change, politicians change, and politics changes. It is not fair to expect any independent nation to keep any political promise forever. I was a child when the UK joined the EU. For most of my life, the UK was part of the EU. Citizens of my age, until a few years ago, had no say as to whether the UK remained part of the EU or not. It would not be fair to bind future generations to decisions made by people alive today. Therefore, I think it is unreasonable to expect any nation to make promises which are supposed to last for eternity. And for that reason, making the demand that Ukraine can never join NATO for the rest of eternity is unreasonable, particularly, as stated, that Russia itself cannot guarantee it will never join NATO for the whole of eternity. I have raised an issue I am not sure others have raised. I am just a nobody from Britain. I have no personal or family ties to Russia at all. I think most people want peace. I hope there is peace, but demands should be reasonable and time limited. I'm just pointing out something others may not have said or dare say. Thank you for considering this response from a nobody that hopes there is peace. Please note that your form would not allow me to provide my name in English, therefore I had to use Yandex Translate to access it. Actually, after this, I used something other than Yandex. I did Yandex first, I also tried something else, but that's not said here. Okay, that's not in the text. But Putin doesn't need to know what I used to actually get my name to work on the website, because when I put my name on the website, it wouldn't allow it because it was in English. I had to have it translated to Russian letters for it to be allowed to be accepted, because apparently Only people with Russian letters can, in their name, can actually write to Putin. But never mind. I did my bit. And now I'm going to show you me actually sending this. Okay guys, this is an update. I've had to go through some ridiculous lengths to solve this, okay? First I've started Firefox. I couldn't paste it in because they'd stopped it. So I had to use a special thing I had which says absolute enable right click and copy. So I had to use a special add-on to do it in Firefox so that I could paste it in, because somehow the website has blocked people doing Control V. It's to do paste. It's somehow stopped people pasting and using the mouse. They want people to literally just type there and then. They do not want people to copy any text in at all. Absolutely astonishing. But I managed to bypass that with this special add-on which enables the right click. Using a Russian to click conversion, I had to use the K instead of the C to get it to do it. And so I put my name in. This is the text again. I haven't changed it. I'll just add my name at the bottom. I think that bit didn't get actually copied. So now let's see what happens. I'll just put the top. Text is in English. I'll probably go straight in the bin, but never mind. Now you see me clicking on send letter. What? Oh yeah, that's why. Why is this so annoying? They clearly don't want anybody but Russians to write. Now you'll see me actually send the thing. There you go. Thank you very much. So there you go, guys. I've now sent a message to Putin's office, okay? There you go, guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.